Alex Mitchell looked out the small window of the shuttle as it approached the massive space station. The structure was unlike anything humans had ever built. It was shaped like a giant wheel with spokes extending from a central hub. Lights blinked across its surface, and ships of various shapes and sizes moved around it. Alex took a deep breath. Today was an important day for all of humanity. As Earth's representative to the Galactic Council, he carried the hopes of billions of people. Just 3 years ago, humans had accidentally discovered faster-than-light travel. The discovery had quickly attracted the attention of the galactic community. "We're beginning docking procedures, Lieutenant Commander," the pilot said over the intercom. Alex nodded and checked his uniform one last time. The dark blue fabric was clean and pressed. The small Earth patch on his shoulder seemed tiny compared to what he was about to face. 17 alien species who had been traveling the stars for thousands of years. A soft meow came from the carrier beside him. Alex smiled and opened the small door. Rusty, his large orange Maine Coon cat, stretched and yawned before climbing onto his lap. "I know, buddy. That was a long trip," Alex said, scratching behind Rusty's ears. The cat purred loudly. The shuttle shuddered slightly as it connected with the station. Alex put Rusty back in his carrier, though he left the door open. Service animals were allowed according to the brief guidelines he had received, and Rusty was officially registered as his emotional support animal. The cat had helped Alex through some tough times after his accident 3 years ago. "Docking complete. Atmosphere stable. You may exit when ready," the pilot announced. Alex stood, grabbed his small bag and Rusty's carrier, and walked to the door. It slid open with a soft hiss. Standing on the other side was a human woman with short gray hair. She smiled and extended her hand. "Lieutenant Commander Mitchell, welcome to Proxima Station. I'm Susan Carpenter, Earth's senior diplomat here." Alex shook her hand. "Thank you, ma'am. It's an honor to be here." Susan looked at the carrier. "And this must be Rusty. I read about him in your file." Rusty meowed in response, making Susan laugh. "Come on," she said. "I'll show you to your quarters. You have 2 hours before the council meeting begins." They walked through wide corridors filled with beings of all shapes and sizes. Some were humanoid, while others were completely different from anything on Earth. Alex tried not to stare as they passed a floating cloud of gas contained in what looked like a transparent bubble. "That's Ambassador Zix from the methane plains of Aldebaran IV," Susan explained quietly. "You'll get used to the diversity." Alex nodded, fascinated. Rusty watched everything from his carrier, his yellow eyes wide with curiosity. They arrived at Alex's quarters, which were simple but comfortable. A bed, a desk, a small kitchen area, and a bathroom. There was even a garden area with real plants. "The council tried to make this comfortable for you," Susan said. "They study human habits and needs." "Please thank them for me," Alex replied. "It's perfect." Susan checked her watch. "I'll leave you to settle in. Be ready in 2 hours. I'll come get you." After she left, Alex let Rusty out of his carrier. The cat immediately began exploring the room, sniffing at the strange plants and furniture. "What do you think, buddy? We're the first cat and human to live on a space station with aliens. Pretty cool, right?" Rusty jumped onto the bed and rolled onto his back, purring. Alex laughed and unpacked his few belongings. He placed a photo of his family on the desk, along with Rusty's favorite toy mouse. Then he reviewed his notes for the upcoming meeting. The council had granted Earth provisional membership. Today, they would discuss making that membership permanent. It was a big step for humanity. As Alex prepared, he had no idea that his simple pet cat would soon cause the biggest diplomatic incident in galactic history. 2 hours later, Susan Carpenter returned to escort Alex to the council chamber. Alex wore his formal uniform and had left Rusty comfortably napping on the bed. "Ready for this?" Susan asked as they walked through the station's wide corridors. "As ready as I'll ever be," Alex replied. His heart beat fast in his chest. Years of training in diplomacy and xenobiology had prepared him for this moment. The council chamber was a large, circular room. 17 raised platforms formed a ring around a central speaking area. Each platform held different seating arrangements to accommodate the various species. Some had water tanks, others had special atmosphere bubbles, and a few had simple chairs. "Wait here until they call your name," Susan whispered, pointing to a small area near the entrance. "I'll be sitting with the observer species." She squeezed his shoulder and left. Alex stood quietly, watching as the chamber filled with representatives from across the galaxy. Some nodded to him politely. Others seemed to ignore his presence completely. A tall, blue-skinned humanoid approached him. Her eyes were entirely black, without visible pupils, and she wore a uniform with various symbols on the chest. "Lieutenant Commander Mitchell, I am Ilara Zorn, Council Security Chief," she said in perfect English. "If you need anything during the session, please inform me." "Thank you, Chief Zorn," Alex replied with a small bow. A chime sounded, and the room fell silent. An ancient-looking being with gray skin and long, thin arms stood from the central platform. "The 4,982nd session of the Galactic Council is now in session," the being announced in a language Alex didn't recognize, but a small device in his ear translated automatically. "Today we discuss the provisional membership of species designation human from the planet Earth, Sol system." The meeting began with each representative speaking about their species' interactions with humans so far. Most had been limited, but positive. Alex listened carefully, taking mental notes. When it was the turn of the Vraxian ambassador, a tall insectoid being with multiple limbs, Alex noticed something moving at the entrance to the chamber. To his horror, he saw Rusty trotting casually into the room, tail held high. How had Rusty escaped their quarters? Alex hadn't even noticed the door had a gap large enough for a cat to squeeze through. The Vraxian ambassador was mid-speech when Rusty walked into the center of the chamber. The insectoid being froze, antennae quivering. Then it let out a high-pitched screech that made Alex cover his ears. "Nexus Beast! Nexus Beast in the chamber!" the Vraxian cried. Chaos erupted. Several ambassadors leaped from their seats. Security alarms blared, and red lights flashed throughout the room. Some representatives fled the chamber entirely, while others activated personal shield devices. Rusty, startled by the noise, darted under a nearby empty chair. Security Chief Ilara Zorn rushed to Alex's side, her weapon drawn. "Contain the Nexus Beast immediately," she ordered. "What? That's just my cat," Alex said, confused by the extreme reaction. "Your cat?" Ilara's black eyes widened. "That is a juvenile Nexus Beast from Rigel 7. No, it's a Maine Coon cat from Earth. His name is Rusty," Alex insisted. The room had fallen into an uneasy silence as everyone watched the exchange. Rusty, sensing the attention, peeked out from under the chair and meowed. Several ambassadors gasped. The Vraxian made a sound like a strangled hiccup. "Impossible," Ilara said. "Nexus beasts are the deadliest predators in the known galaxy. They have destroyed entire civilizations." "Look," Alex said calmly. He knelt down and called softly, "Rusty, come here, buddy." To everyone's shock, Rusty trotted over to Alex and rubbed against his legs, purring loudly. Alex picked up the cat, who immediately began to knead his shoulder with his paws. "This is Rusty," Alex repeated. "He's a pet. Humans have kept cats as companions for thousands of years." The silence in the room was deafening. Every alien face showed expressions of disbelief, fear, or utter confusion. The ancient being who had opened the session spoke again, voice shaking slightly. "This meeting is suspended. Security Council, convene immediately. Lieutenant Commander Mitchell, you will explain this situation." As Alex followed Ilara out of the chamber, still holding Rusty, he realized that his diplomatic mission had just become much more complicated. Alex sat in a small room with Rusty on his lap. The cat seemed unaware of the trouble he had caused. He purred loudly as Alex stroked his orange fur. The door slid open, and Susan Carpenter walked in, followed by Security Chief Elara Zorn and 3 other alien representatives. Susan's face was pale. "Do you have any idea what's happening?" she asked Alex in a low voice. Before Alex could answer, Elara spoke. "The full Security Council will arrive shortly. Until then, the Nexus Beast must be contained." "He's not a Nexus Beast," Alex said firmly. "He's a domestic cat from Earth." A tall, thin alien with purple skin and 4 arms stepped forward. "I am Dr. Krell from the Science Division. May I scan your pet?" Alex nodded. The alien pulled out a small device and moved it slowly over Rusty. The cat watched the device with interest, batting at it playfully with his paw. Dr. Krell jumped back in alarm. "It attacked," the scientist gasped. "He was playing," Alex explained. "Cats are curious. He thought your scanner was a toy." Dr. Krell looked at the readings on his device. His large eyes blinked rapidly. "This is remarkable. The genetic pattern is similar to Nexus Beasts, but there are significant differences." The door opened again. A human woman with dark skin and curly hair entered. Alex recognized Dr. Olivia Blackwood, the expedition's xenobiologist. "I came as soon as I heard," she said. "Is that really what's causing all this panic? A house cat?" Elara frowned. "Nexus Beasts have destroyed entire planetary populations. They are intelligent, ruthless hunters with no known predators. No species has ever been able to capture one alive, let alone pet one." She stared at Rusty with a mixture of fear and fascination. "May I see those scan results?" Dr. Blackwood asked Dr. Krell. The alien handed her the device, careful to stay away from Rusty. Dr. Blackwood studied the data. "This is interesting. There are similarities in basic genetic structure, but Earth cats are much smaller and have evolved differently." She looked up. "I'd need to run more tests, but I have a theory. What if Nexus Beasts and Earth cats share a common ancestor?" The aliens looked at each other in confusion. "That's impossible," said a stocky, rock-like alien. "Nexus Beasts are native to Rigel 7. "Are you sure?" Dr. Blackwood asked. "What if an ancient spacefaring race transported feline ancestors from Earth millions of years ago? Those animals could have evolved differently on Rigel 7 due to the environment." The room fell silent as everyone considered this possibility. The door opened again. The ancient being who had been leading the council session entered, followed by several other important-looking aliens. "I am High Counselor Vex," the being said. "Explain how humans control these creatures." "We don't control them," Alex said. "We domesticated them over thousands of years. They live with us by choice." Vex's wrinkled face showed disbelief. "By choice? Nexus Beasts choose nothing but killing and eating." "Earth cats are predators," Dr. Blackwood admitted, "but they're small and have adapted to living with humans. We provide food, shelter, and affection. In return, they originally helped us by hunting pests like mice and rats." Susan Carpenter stepped forward. "High Counselor, if I may suggest something, let us demonstrate that Earth cats are harmless companions. Dr. Blackwood can conduct studies to determine the exact relationship between cats and these Nexus Beasts." Vex considered this for a long moment. "The Council demands proof that these creatures are safe. I propose a controlled observation period," Susan said. "Lieutenant Commander Mitchell and his cat can be monitored. We'll show you that Rusty is no threat. And I can begin genetic comparisons right away," Dr. Blackwood added. Rusty chose that moment to roll onto his back in Alex's lap, stretching his paws in the air and yawning widely. Several aliens flinched at the sight of his sharp teeth. "Very well," Vex said finally. "But security measures will remain in place. If this creature shows any sign of aggression, it will be immediately contained." As the meeting ended, Alex realized something important had changed. The aliens were no longer looking at him with curiosity or indifference. Now they watched him with a mixture of fear and awe. Any human who could tame a relative of the galaxy's deadliest predator was clearly not to be underestimated. A day passed since the meeting with High Counselor Vex. Alex and Rusty were allowed to stay in their quarters, but with security cameras watching their every move. Alex noticed that the food delivery robots seemed to enter very quickly and leave even faster, as if afraid to be in the same room as Rusty for too long. Alex was reading reports on his tablet when an alarm suddenly blared throughout the station. Red lights flashed in his room. The station's computer voice announced, "Alert! Unauthorized vessel approaching. All civilians proceed to emergency shelters." His door slid open, and Security Chief Ilara rushed in. "Mitchell, we need to move you and the cat to a secure location." "What's happening?" Alex asked, already picking up Rusty and placing him in his carrier. "A ship entered our space without authorization. They're not responding to hails," Ilara explained. "It's a Krell vessel." "Krell? Like Dr. Krell from yesterday?" Alex asked, confused. "No. The Krell are a different species. They're known for collecting dangerous biological specimens, and they've been trying to hack into our communications." Ilara's expression was grim. "We believe they intercepted messages about your cat." The realization hit Alex. They want Rusty. They want Earth cats in general. If they believe your species has tamed relatives of Nexus beasts, they would consider that valuable information. Ilara led Alex through the corridors, which were filled with beings rushing to safety. They met Station Commander Kyle Rodriguez in a secure room deep within the station. Several screens showed the approaching ship, a sleek black vessel with unusual protrusions along its hull. "Status?" Ilara asked. "Not good," Commander Rodriguez replied. "We've begun evacuating civilians, but it will take time. The Krell ship is positioning to dock. We've locked down all entrances, but," he shook his head, "their technology is advanced. They'll find a way in." As if on cue, one of the screens flashed. "Hull breach in Sector 7. Someone called out. "They're in," Commander Rodriguez said grimly. "Security teams deployed to Sector 7. Another screen lit up, showing a group of tall, gray-skinned beings entering the station. They wore black armor and carried weapons unlike anything Alex had seen before. "Krell boarding party," Ilara explained. "They're heading for the residential areas." Alex looked down at Rusty in his carrier. The cat meowed loudly, sensing Alex's anxiety. "We need to get him somewhere safe," Alex said. Before anyone could respond, the lights flickered and went out. Emergency lights came on, casting the room in an eerie red glow. "They've disrupted our power systems," Commander Rodriguez said. "Backup generators online." "Sir," a technician called out. "They're broadcasting a message station-wide." A harsh, mechanical voice filled the room. "Attention station inhabitants. We seek information on Earth's domestication techniques and any cat specimens on board. Provide these willingly, and we will depart peacefully. Resist, and we will take what we want by force." Commander Rodriguez turned to Alex. "Those are your options. They're after your cat and information about how humans tamed them." Alex shook his head. "We can't give Rusty to them, and there's no special technique to explain. Cats domesticated themselves over thousands of years." A security officer ran into the room. "Sir, the Krell have taken hostages." Several ambassadors were caught in the council chamber. The situation was spiraling out of control. Alex looked down at Rusty again, but to his shock, the carrier door was open and empty. "Rusty." Alex spun around, searching the room. "Rusty's gone." "The cat escaped?" Ilara asked in disbelief. "He must have pushed the door open during the confusion," Alex said. "Rusty was smart and could operate simple latches." Commander Rodriguez massaged his temples. "So we have hostile invaders, hostage ambassadors, and now a loose Earth cat that everyone thinks is related to the deadliest predator in the galaxy. Perfect. On one of the security screens, they caught a glimpse of an orange tail disappearing into a ventilation shaft. "He's heading into the maintenance tunnels," Alex said. "We need to find him before the Krell do," Ilara stated, "or before he causes another panic." Alex nodded. The situation was bad enough without Rusty roaming free, but secretly, he wondered if his clever cat might be safer hiding in the walls of the station than staying with him as a target. Alex paced nervously in the command center. On the screens around him, he could see the Krell invaders moving through the station. They were searching rooms one by one, clearly looking for something or someone. "I should talk to them," Alex said finally. Commander Rodriguez looked at him like he was crazy. "They're dangerous. They've already taken hostages. But they want information about cats. I'm the only human expert on board." Alex straightened his shoulders. "Maybe I can negotiate." Ilara considered this. It might work. The Krell are known to be reasonable when they get what they want. "I'll go with him," she added, "for security." Commander Rodriguez didn't look happy, but he nodded. "Fine, but be careful." As they prepared to leave, Dr. Olivia Blackwood rushed into the room. "Wait. I've been analyzing the station's security feeds." She pulled up a video on one of the screens. The video showed Rusty moving through the maintenance tunnels. But he wasn't alone. Small maintenance robots were following him, almost like curious puppies. "That's strange," Alex said. "What are those robots doing?" "The maintenance bots are programmed to investigate unusual activity," Commander Rodriguez explained. "They probably haven't seen a cat before." Dr. Blackwood pointed at the screen. "That's not all. Look at Rusty's behavior. He seems to be hunting something." They watched as Rusty moved with purpose, sniffing the air, his tail twitching in the way it did when he spotted a bird outside Alex's window on Earth. "What could he be tracking?" Ilara asked. Dr. Blackwood's face grew serious. "I have a theory. What if the Krell didn't come only to collect information about cats? What if they already have a specimen of their own?" Alex's eyes widened. "You think they brought a Nexus beast on board? A juvenile one, perhaps. It would explain their interest in domestication techniques." She pointed to another screen showing the Krell ship. "Their vessel is designed for biological transport." Commander Rodriguez immediately started giving orders. "Scan the entire station for unknown life forms. Focus on the maintenance areas." While they waited for results, Alex and Ilara prepared to meet with the Krell. They were given special communicators and emergency beacons. "If anything goes wrong, activate this," Ilara explained, showing Alex a small button on his wristband. "We'll extract you immediately." The scan results appeared on the main screen. A large, unidentified life form was moving through the lower levels of the station, in the same direction Rusty had been heading. "It's definitely not a station resident," confirmed a technician. "And it's big." "The Krell brought a Nexus beast aboard," Ilara said grimly. "And your cat is tracking it." Alex felt a surge of worry for Rusty. "We need to find him before he encounters that thing." "First, we deal with the Krell," Commander Rodriguez said. "They control the hostage situation. Alex, Ilara, proceed with the negotiation. Dr. Blackwood, continue tracking both Rusty and this unknown creature." Alex and Ilara made their way to the meeting point where the Krell had agreed to talk. They were met by two tall, gray-skinned aliens in black armor. Their eyes were large and entirely black, giving them an unsettling appearance. "I am Freck, commander of the Krell expedition," one of them said in a harsh voice. "You claim to have knowledge of the beasts. I have knowledge of Earth cats," Alex said calmly. "They're not the same as Nexus beasts, though they may be related." Vrek studied Alex with those large black eyes. "Our world was decimated by Nexus beasts centuries ago. Many died. We have spent generations studying them, trying to understand their weaknesses. That's why you want cats," Alex realized. "You think they might help you fight the Nexus beasts." "We seek weapons against our ancient enemy," Vrek confirmed. Your species has tamed the untamable. We require this knowledge. As Alex was about to respond, alarm sirens began blaring throughout the station. A voice came over the emergency channel. Alert. Unknown predator loose in level 4. All personnel evacuate immediately. Alex and Ilara exchanged worried glances. The Nexus beast was on the move. And based on the station layout, level 4 was directly above where Rusty had last been seen. Chaos erupted as the alarms blared throughout the station. The Krell guards looked at each other, clearly surprised. "What is this?" Vrek demanded. "A trick?" "No trick," Ilara said quickly. "Your Nexus beast has escaped containment." Vrek's gray face showed no emotion, but his voice hardened. "How did you know we brought a specimen?" "We scanned your ship," Alex explained. "And my cat is tracking it through the maintenance tunnels." Before Vrek could respond, his communication device made a sharp noise. He listened for a moment, then turned to Alex with new intensity. "The juvenile beast has broken free. It is young but still dangerous. We must recapture it immediately." Commander Rodriguez's voice came through Alex's earpiece. "Mitchell, we've lost visual on Rusty. Last seen entering level 4 through an air duct." Alex's heart sank. Rusty was heading straight toward the escaped Nexus beast. "We need to find him now." "Your small beast will be killed," Vrek stated flatly. "Nothing survives a Nexus beast encounter. Don't underestimate Earth cats." Alex replied, though worry filled his chest. Rusty was just a house cat, not a wild predator. "I need to get to level 4. Surprisingly, Vrek nodded. "We will go together. The recapture of our specimen is priority." As they rushed to level 4, reports came in of destruction across the area. The Nexus beast, though young, was tearing through walls and equipment. Station residents were fleeing in terror. "It's heading for the central hub," Ilara reported as they ran. "If it reaches the council chamber, the hostages will be in danger." They reached level 4 and found a scene of destruction. Walls were torn open. Furniture was smashed. Small fires sparked from damaged electrical systems. "The beast came through here," Vrek said, examining deep claw marks on a metal door. "Recently." Alex was about to reply when he heard a familiar sound. A cat's meow, but louder and more intense than Rusty's usual calls. He looked up at a damaged ceiling panel. "Rusty, is that you, buddy?" To everyone's surprise, Rusty's orange face appeared in the opening. He meowed again, almost like he was calling them. "He wants us to follow him," Alex said. He had seen this behavior before when Rusty used to lead him to his empty food bowl at home. "Ridiculous," Vrek muttered, but Ilara was already helping Alex climb up to the maintenance area. "The cat has been tracking the beast," she reminded Vrek. "It might know where it's going." Reluctantly, Vrek followed them up. The maintenance tunnel was narrow but large enough for them to crawl through. Rusty trotted ahead, his tail held high, occasionally looking back, as if making sure they were following. "Your beast seems unafraid," Vrek observed. "Cats are curious by nature," Alex explained. "Sometimes too curious for their own good." They followed Rusty through a maze of tunnels until they heard sounds ahead. Heavy breathing and the scraping of claws on metal. Rusty stopped, his ears perked forward. His body language changed. He crouched lower, tail twitching. "He spotted something," Alex whispered. They peered around a corner and finally saw it. The juvenile Nexus beast. It was the size of a large dog, with dark purple skin and 6 legs. Its head looked somewhat feline, but with 4 eyes and multiple rows of sharp teeth. It was clawing at a wall, trying to break through. "That leads directly to the council chamber," Ilara whispered. "It's trying to reach the hostages." Vrek pulled out a weapon. "I will stun it." Before he could fire, Rusty did something unexpected. He darted forward toward the creature, making a loud yowling noise. "Rusty, no!" Alex cried, reaching out too late. The Nexus beast whirled around, all 4 eyes focusing on the small orange cat. It let out a hiss that sounded like steam escaping a broken pipe. Alex expected to see his beloved pet torn to shreds. Instead, something remarkable happened. Rusty arched his back, making himself look bigger. His fur stood on end. He hissed back at the much larger creature. And to everyone's astonishment, the Nexus beast stopped. It stared at Rusty, head tilting as if confused. "Impossible," Vrek breathed. Rusty took a step forward, still in his threatening posture. And the Nexus beast took a step back. "It's responding to his signals," Alex realized. "Rusty is communicating with it." Alex watched in amazement as Rusty continued his standoff with the Nexus beast. The much larger creature seemed confused by the small orange cat that showed no fear. Rusty took another step forward and made a low growling sound. The Nexus beast responded by lowering its head slightly. "What's happening?" Ilara whispered. "I think Rusty is establishing dominance," Alex explained. "House cats do this with each other. It's how they set boundaries without fighting." Vrek stared at the scene with wide black eyes. In thousands of years, no one has ever communicated with a Nexus beast. They kill everything they encounter, except, it seems, their own kind, Alex said, or creatures they recognize as similar to themselves. Rusty moved slowly to the side, and remarkably, the Nexus beast followed his movement, its 4 eyes never leaving the cat. It was like a strange dance between predators. "We should capture it now, while it's distracted," Vrek suggested, raising his weapon again. "Wait," Alex said. "Let Rusty continue. I think he's calming it down." Indeed, the Nexus beast's aggressive posture was relaxing. Its breathing slowed. It sat back on its haunches, still watching Rusty with all 4 eyes. "This is beyond incredible," Ilara said. "We need to document this." Dr. Blackwood's voice came through their communicators. "I'm seeing everything through the security feeds. This confirms my theory. Earth cats and Nexus beasts must share common ancestors. They understand each other's communication signals." Alex slowly moved closer to Rusty. The Nexus beast tensed, but didn't attack. "Easy now," Alex said softly. "It's okay." He wasn't sure if he was reassuring Rusty or the Nexus beast. When he reached Rusty, Alex carefully picked him up. The Nexus beast watched but remained seated. With Rusty in his arms, Alex slowly backed away. "Vrek, now you can secure your specimen," he said quietly. The Krell commander moved forward with a containment device. The Nexus beast growled but didn't resist as the device activated, creating an energy field around it. "We have the beast contained," Ilara reported to Commander Rodriguez. "The situation is under control." Within an hour, the station returned to normal operations. The Krell released their hostages and agreed to leave peacefully. However, before their departure, High Counselor Vex called for an emergency council session. The council chamber was filled beyond capacity. News had spread throughout the station of the human whose cat had confronted a Nexus beast and lived. Every species wanted to witness this historic moment. Alex stood in the center of the chamber with Rusty comfortably in his arms. Dr. Blackwood stood beside him, ready to present her findings. "Members of the Galactic Council," High Counselor Vex began, "today we have witnessed something unprecedented. For the first time in recorded history, a Nexus beast has been calmed and contained without violence." Dr. Blackwood stepped forward. "My analysis confirms that Earth cats and Nexus beasts share genetic markers. They likely evolved from common ancestors. Earth's cats remained small and eventually chose to live alongside humans. The Nexus beasts grew larger and more aggressive in the Rigel system's harsh environment." Vrek, the Krell commander, addressed the council next. "For generations, my people have sought ways to defend against Nexus beasts. Today, we found an answer in the most unexpected place: Earth's domestic cats." High Counselor Vex turned to Alex. "Lieutenant Commander Mitchell, humanity has unwittingly solved one of the galaxy's oldest problems. The Council votes unanimously to grant Earth full membership status. The chamber erupted in applause. Alex smiled, scratching Rusty behind the ears. The cat purred loudly, completely unaware of his importance to interstellar relations. In the days that followed, the Council established a new division, the Interspecies Communication Department. Alex was appointed as its first director, with Dr. Blackwood as lead scientist. Their mission was to help rehabilitate Nexus beasts throughout the galaxy using Earth's knowledge of feline behavior. As for Rusty, he became the unofficial ambassador between species. Other humans brought their cats to the station to help with the research. Some alien species even began adopting Earth cats as pets and companions. Who would have thought? Susan Carpenter said to Alex as they watched Rusty playing with a toy mouse in his new, larger quarters, that humanity's first major contribution to galactic society would be our relationship with cats. Alex smiled. Cats domesticated themselves on Earth thousands of years ago. Now they're helping us tame the stars. Rusty meowed in what sounded like agreement and continued batting his toy across the floor, unaware that he had changed the course of galactic history forever.